Okay, hello out there. I hope you can see and hear me. My name is Neil Stokes with the digital content team of the Los Angeles Public Library. Welcome to Ask a Librarian Live. This is a weekly program live stream that we host to talk to some of the best librarians from the whole system, Los Angeles Public Library. Today we are joined by, let me bring them up. Hello, everyone. We've got
Hello.
Graciela, Joanna, and Katie. And today we want to talk about some resources available for children, digital resources available for parents who might have their kids at home, etc. So let's get started. Maybe we could start off just by kind of introducing yourselves. Joanna, maybe you can tell us a little bit about what you do normally, how that's changed recently with the pandemic.
Okay, yeah, hi everyone. I'm Joanna. My title is Senior Librarian of Children's Services and have to oversee and coordinate a lot of the projects, initiatives, and activities that have to do with children for the library. So largely in terms of coordinating everything, my job hasn't changed. Just the way that I've been doing it has been changing. There have been a lot of screens and we're getting used to all this format of putting out our programming and content on social media and Instagram Live and here. So been helping, learning to do that and coaching children's librarians on doing that at the same time.
And you've been hosting these Storytimes on Instagram Live and
Yes.
playing the ukulele, which I heard you brought with you.
I mean, exactly. If we need to,
Yeah.
liven up our talk, if anyone's bored and be like,
If we run out of things to say, we'll
a song, we can do that too.
put your ukulele requests in the comments, please. And
Yes.
The other thing I wanted to ask about is if you've been reading anything recently, if you have time. It sounds like you're really busy.
I am, but I actually have to make the time to be reading. I am on the committee to choose the winner for the Newbery Award for 2021. So busy doing all the reading for that.
Can you tell our viewers what the Newbery Award is if they don't know?
They should know. No, I'm kidding. If you were way back when we could go into when we go to libraries and bookstores again, or you'll see on the cover, there's going to be a shiny round sticker. It's either gold or silver. That's the award that recognizes excellence in children's literature for the year. And there's a ton for that, but this one is, I think, like one of the oldest awards.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that little like gold.
Yeah,
silver?
that gold seal. Gold or silver seal.
Yeah.
Well, it's gold for the winner, but each year they give several honors as well. So that will get a silver seal.
Yeah. Okay. Noted. Cool. Katie, can you tell us a little bit about what you do, what you did, how it's changed recently?
Sure. Yeah. So, hello, I'm Katie. Normally, I work in the youth services department, so I really help coordinate programming and performers for our branches. But obviously, we're not doing it in-branch programming, so we've moved a lot of that to online. So I help coordinate a lot of our streaming performers. So that's been an interesting challenge, but exciting. It's kind of fun to use all the new technology. And what I've been reading is I just read last weekend a book called Bloom. It's a graphic novel aimed at teens generally, but really excellent. I find graphic novels are really easier for me to digest because it's kind of hard for me to sit down with like a really dense book right now. But graphic novels, the illustration is great and the stories are easy to follow. And it was really excellent.
I'm the same. I mean, I'm definitely not doing well on my kind of like denser reads right now. And I was surprised. I just saw a video the librarians put together. Maybe this will be on our social media, but it was all these different librarians from the system posting what they were reading. And I was just amazed by how challenging some of them seemed, because I feel like a lot of us have been stressed out and looking for more kind of like escapist stuff. So, I mean, kudos to those people that are able to focus on that stuff right now, because obviously it's a stressful time for some folks. Graciela, do you want to introduce yourself? Tell us a little bit about what you do, what you've been doing.
Sure. So my name is Graciela Gallegos. I do bilingual outreach for children's services. So usually what that means is that I go out into the community and I do workshops for parents early literacy is usually my focus. I also do community events. So I used to go to a lot of clinics and hospitals and attend baby showers and talk to expectant moms. Obviously, none of that can happen right now. So I've been in touch with some of our partners and just letting them know about some of our online resources and hoping that they pass the word on to their parents. But a lot of it for me has been just catching up on the stuff that I never had a chance to learn. Sorry about that.
No worries.
Sorry.
It's okay.
We still have a phone line. We're kind of old school around here.
Oh no,
Yeah.
I have a landline too. I think it's
Yeah,
a cool
yeah.
thing to have now.
You know, now that the apocalypse has come. But so sorry about that. But so yeah, I've just been trying to catch up on all these other like skills that I never really had a chance to brush up on before. So like Excel and some of this virtual stuff. And in terms of reading, I haven't been able to do nearly as much of it as I used to. I used to spend my lunch hour reading, and it's not the same when I'm home and the TV's in the other room and
Yeah, so many distractions.
so supposedly I read before I go to sleep at night, but you know, it usually turns into a few minutes and then I'm like, okay, I'm done. So
Yeah, me
I
too.
grabbed some advanced reader copies books that we had in the office before we left, and so right now the one I'm reading is it's called Ghosts of Harvard. I've been reading pretty much exclusively fiction. I needed an escape from life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I think most people are looking for that these days.
Yeah.
I mean, do we get into the trashy TV that we watch and stuff?
Yeah, we could talk about that for the whole hour.
I mean,
It's a lot of Disney Plus at my house, so.
I don't know if anyone's been watching Listen to Your Heart.
No.
Am I the only? Okay. That's another episode.
We will
maybe.
save that for later.
I'm so intrigued.
Really quickly, I do want to give you a plug just for our website if you're watching. And if you don't know, our website, lapl.org. If you go to our site right now, here, let me just bring it up. Our site has been kind of redone to focus on our digital resources. So if you're looking for something to read, if you're trying to find out information about how you check out digital materials, how you access all of that, if you have a question, scroll down to Ask a Librarian and click on that. And we do have up-to-date information about the library closure. So if you click on the COVID-19 info page, I know there's been a lot of questions about, you know, when we're reopening. Currently, we're totally closed. There's no timeline for reopening specifically for the library. We are figuring out what we would need to do and what that would look like, but this is probably the best way to find out that information is to go to our website. So just before we get started, I want to plug that, and then maybe we could get started talking about our topic for the day. Joanna, did you want to kick it off?
Yes. Well, when we were approached to do this, we were just said, okay, our topic is children's, and how do we frame everything children's into this 1 hour Ask a Librarian? We came up with the idea of talk, sing, read, write, play, early and always. So those are 5 skills. We largely promote them as being part of early learning and early literacy, but they are also important throughout development. So today, we're going to be showing some of the different ways and the resources that are available through the library, ways that the library can help, as well as some of the strategies librarians use when they're interacting with parents and children. So Neil, I'm glad you already brought up the screen for lapl.org. Can you show people how to get to the section for kids?
Yeah, sure.
Thanks.
So on our website, it's been a little bit rearranged, but we do have an icon here at the top that's just for kids and teens. I believe if you click on the link, it goes directly, but you can also click down here where it says just for kids. And that takes you to Kids Path, which is our kids-specific section of the website.
Hooray! So I'll just go through the top of the Kids Path first. It gives like sort of the highlights, the shortcuts to get you to some of the major fun and important things that are going on right now for kids. Let's see. That's the link to get you to recorded story times and some video content. We do have our active connection. Oh, What are you
This.
doing? That is.
Watch
I
recorded
was just
story times
gonna
at home.
rip as it strolled along, but
Yeah,
if
yeah,
you
sorry.
have control over it, that's awesome. But that is our shortcut to tutor.com, which is still operating for grades as young as kindergarten. Oh, back to tutor.com.
Sorry.
I'm so sorry. This part we did not practice. I just thought, well,
Yeah.
we're talking about it. Spring into reading, our spring reading challenge is still going on and will soon morph into a summer reading challenge that will still be going. The library is definitely still interested in it's still one of our goals to support parents and kids during the summer, and probably during this time especially, it's so important to be able to do so now more than ever. To the right of all those cards, I went through all of them, but Graciela is going to be going more into detail about Maki Maki.
Yeah.
But the text on the right is just reminding people that everyone who is part of LAUSD received a student success card. So all students got that through their classes. They automatically get one. If they don't have the tangible card in their hands or in their homes, that we can also verify their card as well. So the links are all available as soon as you get to the homepage of the Kids Path.
Yeah. And so just to reiterate, every LAUSD student has
Yes.
this card, whether they have a physical card or not.
Yes.
And they just need to click on this link. If they don't have the card and they need the number, or if they have it and they don't know the PIN, click on this and it'll take you to a page where you can fill out a form. And you just fill out this form and somebody will respond with your info. So.
And there have been
So
a
you don't-
lot of requests.
Yeah.
Like people are hard at work being able to connect kids with, you
Mhm.
know, the ebooks that we have, the music, the databases, which we will be talking about today.
Yeah.
Yay!
Yay! What else do we have on Kids Path? Let's scroll down a little bit and then discover stuff.
Well, I see Miss Humblebees Academy right there.
Ooh, that looks fun.
Should we look
Humblebees
at that?
Academy. All right, let's
I
check it
think
out.
so.
I think if you switch over to me, there we go.
Oh, you've
So
got it.
Miss there we go. Is that me?
Yeah.
Yay.
Okay. So Miss Humblebees Academy, as it says right there, it's for ages 3 to 6. You can probably go a little younger. You can go a little bit higher. It really just depends on the child. You can create an account. Again, creating an account is just if you want to keep track of what your child has been working on. I usually just go in as a guest. And there is my guest shot. So it's really, did it time me out?
It's a little
Oh, no.
pixelated on my end. Is it okay for
It's
you
blurred.
guys?
Here, let me switch
No,
over to
no.
mine. Mine's a
Okay.
little
Okay.
clearer, so let's use that.
Yes, yours is much clearer.
So just
So
tell me where
that's
to
Miss
click.
Humblebee right there.
Uh-huh.
That's Miss Humblebee. So basically, she's the teacher, and she walks the kids through the lessons. As I was saying, she is. You can sign in as a guest, which is what I usually do, and then I'm trying to see where I am, just so I can kind of learn. So you can see at the bottom, there's the home spot. There's choose a lesson. If there's a lot for the parents to do there, what I really like is that everything that you would click on, Miss Humblebee reads out loud to the kids too.
Mm-hmm.
So
that's
if you
good.
choose a lesson, let's go ahead and try choose a lesson. Can you move over? There you go. So what's good there too is that you can filter the lessons by the topics that you want to cover. So I think they have. So there's art, math, music, language, and literacy.
Social studies.
Yeah. So if you click, you can just click on the first one, Neil.
First lesson, alphabet song.
Yeah, Yeah, I mean, and it's no, Miss Humblebee's gonna sing to us.
Oh, does that mean? Oh, wait,
I
are
don't know if
we
you can
gonna
hear her.
sing because we can't
Oh,
hear her?
I don't know if I can share the audio, unfortunately.
Oh, can you play the
Let's
video and
see.
we'll just sing along? Let's see. Oh, ready, everyone? Will it highlight the letters?
It does.
So I'm hearing the music.
Oh, okay.
Oh, so it means
not
you have to
highlighting them.
sing.
All right.
Oh,
It's very good.
it's very good. But the good thing is that kids can do this. I mean, we're talking singing is one of our main skills, not just for kids.
Yeah.
I mean, all kids like it. So it has the alphabet songs. They have a variety of other songs. So they'll have common like nursery rhymes, and they'll have like Bad Bad Black Sheep and Humpty Dumpty and all these other different ones. But even if you go back again to like the choose a lesson, they have like, I think they had art, which was where they have like coloring letters, and it tells you
Oh, yeah.
to identify different colors. And it's just working on those basic skills. It's really working on getting kids ready for kindergarten.
Yeah.
And it's just practice that they might already be seeing if they go to pre-K or nursery school. But since a lot of them can't go right now, this is a really good way to keep them occupied at home too. What's also really good about this site is that if we go all the way to the bottom, you should be able to click on that green bar at the bottom, and it pulls it back up. And then if you scroll over a little bit, there's printables. There you go.
Oh, cool.
Nice.
So there's PDFs. Because, if you're going to color, it's kind of hard to color on the screen, or some of the kids might be able to. But if you also want them to practice holding a crayon or holding a pencil and working on their letter formation,
oh, cool.
then you can print an actual, like I said, they're PDFs. They print out the stuff. Everything's free. The parents can choose what they want to print out. And then once you create an account, if you go back to that green bar again too, I think there's some connected dots, there's fun stuff. So you see where it says progress reports, because once you create an account, the kids can take little like tests to see how like their number recognition is working, or their little, if they're recognizing all their letters and stuff. And then there's little rewards at the bottom too. Because who doesn't love a reward?
I'm in the guest account, so it's showing like all the guests, I guess.
Yeah.
But if you set up your account initially, you would be able to track your progress.
So
exactly. And then, yes.
Oh, I have a question. I have
yes.
Because you mentioned singing and how important it is, and it is one of those top 5 skills. And I can open this up to Katie too. What do you say to parents who just aren't comfortable with the idea of singing in general?
Well, I usually tell parents that little kids, you can have like Miss Humblebee sing it to them, which is fine. You can always use some of the other websites that will sing to them. And I know you're going to talk about Freegal maybe in a little bit, and that has songs. But I also tell parents, it's like, you know what? Your child is used to your voice. And sometimes I know my daughter, she would, she sings along with me. And there was a stage where she was just like, no, mommy, you don't sing. Like, okay, that's fine, because I'm not the greatest singer, and that's fine. So then what I would tell her is I would just make the request. I'm like, okay, well, then you sing to me. Sing Old MacDonald. And she would sing it as best she could when she was a toddler. But the whole point is just to encourage the music. And I think the other thing that I tell parents is that, it doesn't necessarily have to be, Baby Shark all the time. It can be different types, I know of.
Hopefully not.
No.
Yeah. You tend to think kids and kids music, but it doesn't necessarily have to be only kids music. Of course, you want to be careful with some of the language in the music that you're playing, but all music is good. And then sometimes different types or different genres of music introduce different vocabulary.
Yep.
Because sometimes we'll be listening to the radio in the car, and my daughter will be like, "What's that word, mommy?" Because she's really listening to the lyrics. And though it's like, oh, it's a word that we don't necessarily use in our day-to-day language, but she's hearing it in the songs, and she's wondering about the vocabulary, and that's a perfect opportunity to teach more vocabulary. I don't know if Katie wants to jump in.
No, I mean, I just think kids don't care if you have the voice of a trained soprano or something. You know, they just are. They will respond to your enthusiasm with their own enthusiasm.
Mm-hmm.
So definitely don't be too shy to sing. And along with what Graciela was talking about with like learning new vocabulary, it's also just great for phonics, especially for the really little ones, because you're slowing down a lot of words and they can kind of grasp onto the sounds in the words. So it's super important, you know, don't be embarrassed. And honestly, the more you sing, the better you will be at singing. So.
And sometimes I purposely will do, I mean, like I said, I am not a singer. And sometimes, you know, we'll get really silly and we'll do like our version of the operatic stuff. And it's obviously not good. But they, my daughter's saying, how dare you? But the whole point is that we're having fun. And then I think it's also important for them to see that you don't have to be the best at it.
No.
I mean, think about like when you go to karaoke nights. Like, you kind of have to appreciate the people who have terrible voices, but just like really give it their all, you know?
Exactly.
So, I don't know if that gives you confidence to sing.
But yeah, I liked how you covered it through like all the different developmental stages. Like when you're a baby newborn, it doesn't matter what you're saying. Your child knows your voice and wants to hear your voice, and it's this bonding experience. And then eventually they grow, and like it's a way of, you know, having them come into have their own voice. And then as you grow older, it can be performative. It can be a way of relieving stress. It could be a way of also telling stories too.
Yes.
So yeah, there's a reason why singing is on those top 5 skills.
Well, and as I tell parents too, singing, I mean, I don't know about you guys, but half the time, especially now in these days, I don't remember what I did yesterday, but sometimes you hear certain songs and you're like, oh my God, 3rd grade during so-and-so class, and we were doing this song, and it's like you remember things so well when you hear songs. And that's why the music's so important for kids.
100%.
Joanna, one more time. Tell me the top 5 skills that you're talking about.
Oh, it would be talk, sing, read, write, play. And we'll be touching in a little bit on all of those with the resources that we'll be talking today.
And then since we mentioned reading really quick back on Miss Humblebees, we were talking about her. She does have a little library at the bottom, and then what the books are, they might be made specifically for the program, but what's good to hear is that the kids have the option of having the program read the books to them, or if they're at a level where they can read to themselves, they can do that. And if they can read to themselves, but if they have the program read to them, it is one of those where it highlights each word as it's read. Yes. So they can hear it and be reading it, so they can start associating the words. Yeah.
Birds.
You can see how it's kind of moving
this is fast.
Yeah. And again, I don't think they're probably books specifically written for the program, but they're cute, and they're not super, you know, advanced readers because it is for littler kids.
Yeah.
And you can't hear it out there, but it is reading it to me. It's
How's
quite
the
loud,
voice?
actually.
Oh, okay.
It's nice. It's a nice voice.
Are you learning about birds?
I've learned so much already. I've been learning a lot about birds just from working at home, honestly, because that's all I see out the window all day.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, this is cool.
Awesome. Well, speaking of books, so if we go back to the Kids Path page, Keith, if you want to start sharing.
Do you want to show yours?
Yeah. And let me know if it's blurry.
No,
so
looks
back.
good.
Okay. Back on that
really
that main Kids Path. If we scroll down to our kind of main title cards here. We see Overdrive Kids. So you may be familiar with Overdrive for their adult collections, which you may use yourself, but I don't know if you're aware, we do have a special collection not just for kids. So if you look, we have our new things, including books in many different languages, which is awesome. We have some staff picks. We have special Heritage Month collections, May the 4th, all sorts of different collections for you. So one thing that is cool that we have right now with Overdrive is Harry Potter at Home. So you can read or listen to the first Harry Potter book. Like anyone can, you don't have to wait for a hold or anything like that to come in. It's available right away.
Side question, what house are you in?
Oh, I'd like to think...
You've never been sorted.
Engagement and learning.
I'd like to think I'm like Ravenclaw or something, but I'm probably like Slytherin. I don't know.
Slytherin is not bad. It's not bad to be strategic. Graciela, what about you? Have you been sorted?
I think I've done it. I think I was a Hufflepuff. Is that what it is?
Yes.
Oh, that's a nice one.
Very loyal.
It's been a long time since I read the books, but yeah.
Well, now you can again. You can do a
Yes.
reread.
You know what? I have a confession. I haven't read them.
How are
Maybe
you,
I will.
librarian?
Are you?
This is done.
I don't know how I've avoided
over.
it.
Let's
shut it down.
Okay, shut it down. Bye, everyone. You'll have some reading to do.
Yeah, I'm really airing my dirty laundry. No, I just never... I do have a niece and nephew now who have, and I think maybe it's a good time to get into it just so I can talk to them about it. So
yes.
Yeah. Well, you can read the first one totally for free on Overdrive.
That's awesome. Yeah. And how can people, if they don't know already, how can people read these books from Overdrive, right? They can, there's apps, you can read them on different devices. So it's not just on the browser.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, there's the browser option. And then there's also Overdrive app and Libby, which is sort of a very like simplified, easy to use app version for your phone. You can also have these books and download them to your Kindle or e-reader. I believe there was a whole Ask a Librarian about Overdrive specifically that will definitely go into the level of detail about that.
Yes, as long as the audio was actually working.
Yeah. One other thing about Overdrive that's interesting is they have, in addition to ebooks and e-audiobooks, they have videos. So some people aren't aware of that. So for free, I saw here this morning, Alyssa got checked out. They have the Paddington movie, which is one of my favorite kids movies that you can borrow for free with your library card. So that's awesome.
Nice.
And they also have kind of interpretations of picture books, like sort of videoified, which is pretty cool, like Crown or any of these here. Or Don't Let Pigeon Drive the Bus, very classic. So that's kind of Overdrive, but there's lots of different collections and book lists and stuff for you to browse through for all different ages. They have picture books through, your elementary school and middle grade readers, and then into teens. Another resource we have through Kids Drive is Canopy Kids. It's another one where it's like the focus is on the offerings for grown-ups, but there is a kids section. So if you look at that, you can see there's Sesame Street and Arthur and Berenstain Bears, all sorts of fun. A movie about a cat that I'm going to have to watch later. And they also have some of these picture books translated into video form, like You Are Not Small, and also Pigeon. So yeah, those are some. Oh, Creepy Carrots, that's a good one. Awesome. So that's a little bit about Canopy and Overdrive. both of these require your library card number and your PIN, which is usually the last 4 digits of your phone number. And I believe Canopy, do you guys remember what the limit on checkouts is for that per month?
It's 9
9.
a month. There are some now, if you go to their site, I think, well, actually, I would have to double check. I feel like the kids might be unlimited now, but I could be wrong. I need to ask a librarian.
I think I did hear. Isn't that? It is unlimited.
One of those. They have some.
Yeah.
They definitely have movies on Canopy right now that are credit free. And another hack, if you have a library card from another system, which a lot of people also have, like a County of Los Angeles library card, you can enter that into the same account, and so you can use credits for multiple library systems.
Oh, that's nice.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if you have a student success card, you can use those to access these materials as well.
Right. And they have, if you have like a Roku or like a Apple TV, that sort of thing, they also have apps, Canopy, so you don't have to watch stuff on the computer. You can watch it on your TV or device, etc.
Yeah. I think one of the ones I was able to actually cast onto my TV. It was fun.
Yeah, I've
This is
used
so cool.
Chromecast with it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
cool.
Hey.
Cool.
Well, I have a little bit more on some more book videos that you can watch, and that's on Bookflix. So we go back to the kids' path for us. But I do appreciate, because like Katie was saying, both Canopy and Overdrive are, they're huge. It's a huge collection, but
Yeah.
when you go through the kids' path, this gets you straight to the kids section of it. So I think it's a lot easier that way instead of having to search it all.
Right here.
Yeah. So go ahead and scroll. So I wanted to show everyone first book flicks and then science flicks.
Okay, we're looking at what books?
Oh no, we could go down.
Just
Back
scroll
to-
along the. Oh, I see.
Yeah. Yeah. There's
Okay,
one
so in
more
this
here.
little
Yes.
carousel at the bottom.
So there's book
Book
flicks. It's more sort of the book videos. These are videos that are books that have been published already, mostly through Scholastic. But what's great about there, and this kind of emphasizes more reading and more of the play part. Actually, let's have you choose. What subjects would you guys want to look at? Let's explore this way.
I'm gonna go with imagination. 'Cause that unicorn looks pretty tight.
Let's see a good-looking unicorn. Okay, so what's great about this is it pairs the book video with a nonfiction title. So you can learn a little bit
This
more.
is a funny
about-
one. Don't let
Which
the
one?
pigeon drive the bus and car
It's
safety.
a great. I didn't notice that. But so you can, same thing. You can do a read along. You can highlight the words. I think this one's just the movie.
Oh, okay.
And then over
it's
on the left,
fictional.
you.
Oh, read the book. Okay.
Yeah, so you can read the book. There's a ton of different ways into all of these books. And I think some of them you can play a game afterwards as well.
And this is another one that it's reading it out loud to you and highlighting
Yes.
the words as you go along. So.
Yes.
Vroom.
And I will testify that the voice is very high quality.
That's great.
Not as good as a librarian, but
Well, what's good about Bookflix is you do have access to all of these books just by your library card.
Yeah.
And there isn't a limit on how much you can check out. It's just, you can just view it all on the browser too.
cool. Something else you wanted to look at?
Science Flicks.
Okay.
It's sort of the
So
same
that's, again,
idea.
that's down in this bottom carousel on
Yep.
Kids Path. Let's go to Science Flicks.
And similar, like pretty much the same idea, right? You get to see all these videos on all these science topics. I believe like if you're going to be going into a whole research internet vortex, I think these are the databases to do it in.
Mm-hmm. So really good if you're doing a project or some research.
Absolutely.
Your
Or
kid
if you
was
wanna
doing
do-
like yeah.
Oh, or if you wanted to do a science experiment, they have those too.
Oh,
Yeah.
cool. Oh yeah, that's under the experiments tab here.
Yep. What's that one?
Looks like maybe it's kind of a little trailer.
Ooh,
Explain what.
actually, I think on ScienceFlix, can you type in the search box s'mores?
S'mores.
Oh, do they have solar s'mores?
I think they have solar s'mores. This
Am I
may
spelling
be.
it right with an
Ooh.
apostrophe?
I think so. Is it there?
Hmm.
I'm all
Let's
like
try it without the
looking at it.
apostrophe.
From
No?
ScienceFlix too, like you can see a lot of the things that a lot of the librarians base our programming on some of these activities as well,
Oh, cool.
so that like you can see the experiment happen, and then learning more, the ability to learn more about it is readily available.
What I really like about ScienceFlix is that the reading can be altered, like the levels.
Mm-hmm.
So if you have littler ones, you can change, the same information will be conveyed in a simpler form. And then you
Okay.
can change it. So you see, I think it's the reading levels are up at the top.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
it's a topic with an article about extreme weather, but then you can choose 1, 2, 3. What do 1, 2, 3 mean if nobody knows? Does that correspond to your guys?
Oh, there's so many reading levels.
There's okay.
I just
There's
know
not a
one's the simplest ones.
Yeah. Okay. I didn't know if it
Yeah.
was a universal unit of measure.
Yeah.
No.
But yeah, you can simplify the text, or you can bring it up to a higher level. So that's cool. And it's got a little more depth with the higher level.
Right.
It also shows you how to cite it if you're using it in like an essay.
Oh, so
If you care about that sort of thing.
We're librarians. Of course, we care about our sources and how we cite them and who wrote it and their authority.
Yes, very important. We did a
Especially
whole
now.
episode of that, which you can hear part
We
of it.
did.
Mostly audible episode. Okay, so that's ScienceFlix. Did you want to cover anything else, Joanna?
That's all from me from this scroll. Did we had more science stuff on
Oh,
this
yes, that's
carousel,
me.
though, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Over to Katie.
Over to me. So if we
bring up your-
scroll through,
yeah.
there it is. Can you guys see my screen now? Sorry. So if we see on the bottom carousel, we also have At Home STEM, which is a curated list of STEAM resources for parents and educators that was created by LAPL librarians. So these are all like really excellent vetted educational resources for your kid. So a couple I wanted to highlight is PBS has, as you may be aware, has made a lot of things free and open for teachers and parents who are stuck at home. So they have a lot of resources on all sorts of different subjects, little videos. What's great is they have a little grading level for each of them, so you can kind of have a sense of what it's appropriate for. You can, I went too fast. You can narrow it down to science generally, or you can have a particular branch of science. They have so many videos, so you can filter it by the grade level that you're looking for. Sorry, my internet decides to be slow now. And then it has all these nice little video clips that you will not be able to hear. But you can see.
Ooh, we're touring the galaxy.
Tour of
The galaxy.
Oh.
Yes. Oh, yes.
Oh,
That's the area I'm from.
me too.
Oh, I didn't know.
And there's lots of different support materials and activities to go along with these. I'm like mesmerized by the globe
This
image right
is.
now. It's very relaxing. But they have all sorts of different background reading. I mean, it is designed for teachers, but if you're doing some of this at home, discussion questions, handouts, along with what state standards, but you'd have to create an account to do that. So all sorts of fun stuff with PBS. Another great STEM resource that we have linked through here is NASA STEM at Home. I'm just keeping with the space theme, I guess, this afternoon. So they have a lot of different resources. The ones that we have linked here are aimed at kindergarten through 4th grade. They have hands-on activities, experiments. You see your Cloudmobile. They have lots of worksheets, which is kind of fun, puzzles and fun stuff. Different rockets. They change it out depending on what they're coloring sheets. If you want a coloring sheet of an astronaut, games, which is really fun, like exploring Mars. And then they have a selection of actual books that a lot of these are actually citizen science themed books that we use in our citizen science programming, which is something that we're still doing digitally. So you can check out more information about that on our website. I'll show you where. But you can download these book PDFs, and then it goes along with lots of activities, coloring pages, all sorts of stuff to keep going. And they have it in multiple languages, which is excellent. So that's NASA STEM at Home. And speaking of citizen science, if we go up on the STEM resources page, you'll see our neighborhood science tab there, and that has information about all our neighborhood science activities and events. So continuing on this list, one more I wanted to show you, since it's a local resource, is our Stuck at Home Science through the California Science Center. So they have lots of different, everything's so slow. They have lots of different live videos that have activities that you can see are translated English and Spanish. So you can watch the video in either English or Spanish and then download an activity guide and try stuff at home. So I think that's really fun. They post them every day, which is great. You can make some kind of slime type situation here. Which I'm sure many parents are familiar with making slime at this point. But they have lots of different activities. And then, you can get really excited about science. And then hopefully once they reopen, you can actually go visit the California Science Center to continue your explorations. So that's some of the resources. There's many more on here, including resources about coding, stuff for all ages. As we scroll down, we also see that there are learning resources specifically about coronavirus, including a guide to how to talk to your kids about coronavirus. So this is a great resource for parents who are kind of wondering how to go about that. And then book lists for STEAM. Many of these books are available on our e-media. So that is our STEM at Home.
That's so cool. Thank you, Katie.
Yeah.
I think,
can
we go back? Oh, I was going to say, can we go back to the Kids Path? I want to mention one of our newer databases that we have, especially for bilingual parents, Spanish-speaking families. So we have a new database called Make, I believe is how they pronounce it, and I have no idea what that means.
So it's here in this little featured carousel. Just click to enter.
And then you do need a library card.
Okay.
Yep, and there you go. So it's the same type of thing where the one that Joanna was talking about, like Bookflix and stuff, where you can read the books in the browsers, so they don't count. You don't have a limit into how many books you get to check out each day. It's just as many as you want to read in the browser. I believe they say there's 300 titles, and all of the titles are from Latin America. So the Spanish is from Latin America. And like I said, it's a really good option for those parents who are, who want to do some more bilingual, or, they're trying to check out some of the Spanish books. This is a really good way to check out some of the Spanish books and not use up some of your, your checkouts on Overdrive or anything.
Yeah.
And then you can also limit it by, it says nivel de lectura, which means like reading level. So it's similar to the other ones. On the homepage, you can see that, where it says limited to like the simpler grades, or you can change it again to like subjects, age. So all of that is exclusively in Spanish. And then moving away from Make, their last one I'm going to talk about is Tumblebooks.
All right, take me to Tumblebooks.
It should be down if you go. It should be one of those.
Okay, here we go. Tumblebooks.
Yeah. So Tumblebooks, I think on the descriptor it says something like 7 languages. I don't know if we subscribe to 7 languages, but we definitely have the options on the top right corner to switch it from English to French or Spanish. So that's a really good option too for parents. And it's the same type of thing where the books are read to the students in the browser. You can go ahead and just pick anything you want, So books are read in the browser, and then what's good here too is that it talks about, sometimes it tells you the reading levels where it says book details. This one might not have it because it's a Spanish one. If you try switching back to English and see if it'll give us the book details on a different title. Yeah, just pick one. But they have songs too, since we were talking about help. So there you go. So it says the word count. It talks about how long it'll take. So that one would take about 10 minutes. That's probably one of the longer ones. But it also has the AR. So I don't even know what AR means. It's a reading level. And then it has a rough estimate on the grade levels. So if you're trying to make sure your child reads specific grade level books, this is a really good way to see if that's what's in their level.
I'm trying to show it. It's showing it. It opened a new window. That's why it's not appearing. Let me.
Oh, I heard a little bit.
Let me share the other. There we go. So this is the video.
Oh, I remember
so
this
again,
book.
It's just reading out.
Yeah. Oh, so it's highlighting each sentence as it reads it versus each word. But again, it's a good way for the kids to kind of follow along and hear the language. It's also, I think, really good for sometimes some of our kids who are English learners to hear the language as they read it. So it helps with like pronunciation. So Tumblebooks is another good one. Like I said, it's just you read it in your browser. You don't use up any of your checkouts. Yeah.
Nice.
This also seems like a good time to promote the Bilingual Wednesday Storytimes on LAPL's Instagram. Those are Wednesdays at 10 a.m. Next week is going to be Spanish. This week was Yiddish. I know, really great. I think in the month of May, we're going to have Farsi, Spanish, Vietnamese. So a lot of great things in store. So that's every Wednesday for the 10 a.m. story times.
And we've been doing a ton of online programs. I just wanted to show the website again. Over on the right-hand side, our event calendar, because we're closed, we've got all the online events up there. And you can see there's actually a ton, but it'll tell you what channel. Some of these are on our main LAPL Instagram or YouTube, like this program. Some of these are on branch accounts, but you can check out this calendar to figure out what's going on.
I think that one of the later, most recent blog posts actually put together which ones were all story times, I think, on Instagram Live.
There's something, but...
I think, there it is.
Oh,
It's
here
the
we go.
blue-
Storytime
yeah.
Reinvented. So yeah, check out our blog. By the way,
Yes.
we've been pumping out blog entries because our librarians have had a little extra time working from home, so they've been
I
able
know.
to and some really amazing content, book lists, reviews of books, stuff about hobbies and interests, but it's all kind of connecting back to our collections. There's a lot of really good writers in the system, and they don't always have as much time to contribute to the blog. So right now is kind of a rich time for our blog. I'll just give a plug for that. But yeah, this goes through Instagram Live story times. And then we've got, and that's you every day at 10, right?
It's me hosting a different children's
Hosting a
librarian
different,
every- yeah.
and then, okay. So, but you're doing the ukulele intro, and
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
People might recognize you from
So
that.
no-
That's LA Public Library on Instagram. And then Studio City does one every day,
Yes,
which is
Yes.
incredible.
it is. It's really.
Every day.
I know.
She's got a
Pretty
turtle
amazing.
friend, I know.
I
I don't know
saw
if
that.
Oh,
he's always in the story time, but
There's a turtle?
yeah.
I'm gonna have to check that
A
out.
real turtle.
yes, you
I
need
don't
to see
follow
the
Studio
turtle.
City. I should follow Studio City. They're doing a lot of really cool stuff online.
And the
Anyway,
program
what else
Some
did
people
you
just-
guys? Oh,
Oh,
sorry.
I was gonna say some people do crafts on. So I know like Shirley from
Mhm.
Lincoln Heights has done
Yes.
crafts, and so it's a wide range of programming going on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
next week, Tuesday, we're having yoga and storytelling on the main Instagram account.
That's gonna be
It's
cool.
Tuesday at 2, so
Ooh.
lots of different stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's so cool to see too is that we've been trying a lot of different kinds of things with streaming, and as I was telling you guys before we started, this program is a little bit, its secret is that we're kind of using it to test some of the technologies, and that's why it's a little bit rough sometimes, but it's giving us a chance to figure out, you know, what platforms work and what software works for streaming. But it's really fun to see just what the branches are coming up with, because it's giving
Yeah,
everyone
yeah.
a chance to like try so many branches have their own social media accounts, and they're just being really creative, and a lot of people are like making video content, and it's fun to see. It's fun to see that kind of spring up in an organic way. I think it's exciting.
Yeah, definitely.
Did you guys have anything else you wanted to talk about today? Did we talk about all the 5 skills?
Well, we can cover writing really quick when we go over
Sure.
Ziza. Do you
Oh
have?
Ziza.
yes.
Yes.
Does somebody want to bring that up, or do you want me to bring it up?
Could you bring it up? Actually,
Yeah.
I mean, I can flip my camera and turn it on, but Ziza is actually a newsletter.
Oh, that's the app. Sorry.
Oh.
Do you need
No.
it on a
Oh no,
mobile
it's
device?
not an app. It's not
Okay.
on it.
It's on the
Okay.
kids path.
Yeah, it's on Kids
Okay.
Path.
Kids Path.
Yeah. So
Fun.
something under fun. So
Fun.
what it is, before stay-at-home orders, there was
at
a
the bottom.
newsletter that was available, or actual newspaper, solely for kids that was available.
It's all the way
and-
down here at the bottom here.
Yes.
Ziza News for Kids.
Yes, Ziza. That is how you pronounce it too.
Am I saying it right?
Yeah,
Okay.
Ziza. It's a great name. So it was available as a physical copy at 10 of the branches, and there was a lot of related programming to it. And it's pretty much, just what it says. It's free news for tweens and teens. All that news that was available in the newspaper is now accessible online until the end of the academic year. And if you scroll down in terms of supporting the writing skill for older kids, there's a whole, there we go, the junior reporter community,
Oh,
where,
cool.
so basically what this newspaper does is it not only shows the news, tells the news, but like really helps kids report on the news themselves
Neat.
as well.
So it takes you, if you click join, it takes you to a form to sort of apply.
to do a roundup. And
Yeah.
the way that they have their news available now is not your standard newsletter, but it's actually pretty interactive.
cool.
It goes into news trivia. So I thought we can close by maybe playing some trivia.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay, so
some
is this
competition.
the trivia here? Trivia? No.
Yes. Yeah.
Go to musical. Am I doing the right thing?
Okay. Yes. Musical is
Okay. Trivia
right.
starts here.
Uh-oh.
all right.
Oh boy. Okay.
I think we figured out
Here
that
it
it
goes.
helps to actually have read the news first, but
But that's okay. All right. So what is today's subject? Animal news?
Looks like this week's theme is animal news.
Ooh.
'Cause it's
What do you think? Animal news. There's
month of
some other
May,
topics
isn't it?
if you scroll
okay.
down. Let's see. So there's animal news, Olympics, superheroes.
Let's do Earth Day. Let's do Women's History Trivia.
Sure.
Okay, let's do it.
Okay.
Trivia
let's begin.
time.
What's your first name? Neil.
That's the first
If
trivia
I can
question.
spell. Yeah.
I guess
Tough
Neil
one.
wins that question.
I had trouble spelling it though. Okay. What did this astronaut accomplish recently?
Can you read
Completed
the
the
choices?
longest space flight by a woman. Served as flight engineer on the International Space Station. Completed the first all-female spacewalk. D, all of the above.
I'm going to go D. Just cover my bases.
I
Yeah.
kinda
would go
think
D
D.
too, right?
I forget her name, but
Yeah.
I do remember reading about this, and I feel like at least A and C. Let's try D.
Yes.
Answer
Yay!
D. We got it right. Nice.
Yay!
Christina Koch. Yeah.
Oh,
Christina.
First
I
all-female
did not
spacewalk.
remember her name.
That's wonderful.
And she was in space for 328 consecutive days.
Wow.
Wow.
Oh, it's amazing.
So cool. All
And
right.
that was her view. So yes, it's just a really good and fun way of, digesting the news, reading the news, totally age appropriate, and encourages kids to develop those writing and reporting skills as well. So that's a great one. And there's also still related library program. Again, Studio City, they have programs that they started in the branch, and then they've continued them on a virtual platform as well. So I would take a look at Studio City's branch page so you can catch when they're doing Zyza programs.
Nice. Yeah, and the cool thing too with these online programs is they're not confined geographically. I mean, you don't have to be in
Right.
Studio City to get their programs. You can watch it anywhere. So it's neat to have access to, because you've got so many librarians throughout the city doing cool stuff that now you can see from anywhere,
Absolutely.
from outer space.
That's like our sub-theme for today.
So yeah, there you have it. We've covered our top 5 skills. We've talked about some really awesome resources for kids and parents. I just want to maybe really quickly give another plug for some stuff on our website. Let me just pull it up again. But if you go to our website, which is lapl.org, reload. lapl.org,
No, just go to the
we've
Kids
got,
Path.
Yeah,
That's the
you can
most
go to Kids
important
Path. Yeah, so we've reimagined our site a little.
Oh no.
Oh no, we lost him.
We
Neil,
lost
time out.
Neil. Does that mean, are we still broadcasting? Okay.
I don't know.
If we are, there you
Oh,
are.
wait.
Back.
There he is.
Battery died. Sorry about that. So anyway, yeah, we're still going, and check out our website, lapl.org. There's tons of stuff on here that you can do from at home. If you're curious about anything to do with the library closure, we are closed. It says that up at the top of the page. But if you want to know about reopening, if you have any questions about that, we have a page of COVID-19 info. This kind of answers all the questions about our closure, what's going on, what to do with your materials. Long story short, you don't have to return anything if you've got books checked out. There's no fines are going to accrue. We've technically become fine free, in fact. I hope I can say that, but basically don't worry. And check out our website. Check out these awesome resources that you saw our wonderful librarians talk about today. Joanna, you want to take us out with like a ukulele solo or something? Or are you ready for that?
A chance to rock out.
I mean, can you even hear it? Because
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds good. What do you got
all
for
right,
us?
I'll do our standard goodbye song. Goodbye, Neil. Goodbye, Graciela. Goodbye, Katie. It's time to say goodbye.
Yay.